We are going to talk about a design pattern called chain of responsibility. It is a behavioral pattern, consists of a source of command objects and a series of processing objects. Each processing object contains logic that defines the type of the command objects that it can handle. Rest are passed to the next object in the chain. There are multiple variations of the standard chain of responsibility model. Some handlers may act as a dispatchers, capable of sending commands out in a variety of directions, forming a tree of responsibility. In some cases, this can occur recursively, with processing objects calling higher up processing objects with commands that attempt to solve some smaller part of the problem. Let's take an example of logging. Logging could be done in various forms, such as console logging, email logging, or file logging. So in some cases, let's say if it is an info, debug, error type, based on the type of the logging, we would like to print it in various logging formats. Let's say for information, we would just like to display it in console, whereas for the debug, we would like to print it in console and put it in file logger. Similarly, for error, we would like to execute 3 of them. So to implement this scenario, we need an abstract class where we will have all the different types of loggers, and the next logger that we would be calling, that is the next class in the chain, needs to be implemented, and we will have a message to print and write, and we are going to use a method called setNextLogger. Okay, and we have chain of responsibility test class that will have the public void main method, which will execute this and show us the example. Let's build this example in the real time and see how it works. Let us go to Visual Studio and create a new file called abstractlogger.java. This is an abstract class, and we would like to create 3 variables. One is info, and the other one is public static int debug. This is the second level, and the third one is public static int error equals 3. And we would need a level that we will have the access specifier as protected in level, and we will have protected abstract logger, the next logger. We'll say next logger. Then we would like to create a method called void set next logger, and the parameters would be next logger, and this will have this dot next logger equals next logger, and we will create an abstract method protected void write the message that we would like to write message, and the last method would be message public void message, and this will have int level string message. So we'll pass the type of level, and we will check this level, this dot level less than or equals level, the one which we are getting in as a parameter. We will say write message. Similarly, we would like to check if next logger not equals to null. If it is not equals to null, then we would like to set next logger dot message and the level. So we are just passing it to the next one if the next logger is not null. If it is null, it won't do anything. message. So this is our abstract logger class. Now let us go ahead and create a new class called FileLogger.java that would extend abstract logger. Within this, we will have the constructor FileLogger int level. This dot level equals level. Extends, and then we will override our method protected void write method, which will take message, and within this we will print that statement stating file logger and the message. This is int. Now we have created a file logger. Let's go ahead and create an email logger .java, and this is same as file logger extends abstract logger. Within that, we would like to create an email logger with int level constructor. Within the constructor, we would like to say this dot level equals level, and we will have at override protected void write string message, and this will have system.out.println. This would be email logger, and the message. And the third one would be our final one, that's the console logger. Extends abstract logger. Within that, we will first create a console logger constructor int level, and this dot level equals level, and we will have an override method protected void write string message. In this, we will have a system.out.println. We'll say console logger and the message. Let's create our final main method class. We will call that as chain of responsibility s.java. So within this, before we create our main method, let's create a static method called getChainOfLoggers. We'll call that as public static. The return type would be abstract logger and getChainOfLoggers. Within this, let's create abstract logger. First one would be email logger equals new email logger, and the level that we would like to pass is abstract logger dot error. So for error, we would like to display this. Next would be abstract logger file logger equals new file logger, and it would be abstract logger dot debug, and the final one would be abstract logger console logger equals new console logger and abstract logger dot info. So now we have created 3 of the objects. Let's create the chain. First, let's use email logger dot set next logger. So the next logger that we would like to execute after email would be file logger. And again, inside file logger, once this is executed, next logger would be a console logger. So this is how we would like to have our chain, and then we would like to return this object email logger. Email logger return. So this method will get the chain of loggers that needs to be executed one after the other. Let's go ahead and create our main method, where we will create abstract logger chain equals get chain of loggers. That will get the logger chain, and within this there is a method called message that will take level. Let's pass this and see abstract logger dot info, and the message is info level logger, and just print one more statement as system dot out dot print line. For separating, just we will have a line. Then we would like to create info level, and the second one would be logger chain dot message, and the level would be abstract logger dot debug, and we will say this debug level, and we will print this message here for differentiation. And the last one that we would like to execute is abstract logger dot error, and this is error level. Now if you see, we are trying to pass the level and the message that we would like to print based on the level type. Okay, let's compile all these files now. javac asterisk.java, and again let's run our main method by using java chain rest test, which will execute these statements. Let's look at each one of them. So first time when I'm using the logger chain dot message and passing the info, so it'll go and within that chain, whatever is the info level we have set, it'll print only the info level. So it is for all the infos, only the console logger would be printed. But using the same logger chain dot message method, if we pass debug, it would do consoling and as well as file. So it will print it in the console as well as it will write it into the file, because this is a debug level. So if it is an error level, we would like to have 3 of them to be executed, such as sending an email, printing it in file as well as console. So in the third one, where we are passing the error type as abstract logger.error based on the level, it is printing in the 3. So this is a small example where we are showing it at multiple levels, but this could be implemented for various scenarios and various places where there could be complex chain of responsibilities and chain of classes that could be executed. And there could be like a tree structure where each of the branch and each of the leaves or node branches, nodes can execute different things. Hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.